Hello students, in this video I'll illustrate how to design your basic stamp as well as the handle that goes along with it. So firstly, to start off, we have to look at our brief, and our brief specifies our stamp area can't exceed 50 by 60 millimeters. Now I like staying within my build volume, so I'm going to make my stamp exactly 45 by 45 millimeters. I'm also going to make a fairly simple star-shaped design. So I'm going to start off by designing a round shape, or drawing a round shape that is exactly 45 millimeters diameter. Now I can double check that by using my measurement tools and measuring from, if I turn on my quad snap, from this quad there to that quad there, exactly 45. I'm happy. Next up, I'm going to use my star from polygon tool. Make sure I have number of sides typed in as 5 already. I'm going to turn on my center snap, snap to the center, draw straight up, staying within my circle, and drag back down and click again. Now I'm going to turn my center snap off for the time being. So that will be my star design. I'll be engraving this area out, and this will stay behind being my stamp. Alright, so that's the main stamp area. Next up, I have to design the handle that goes along with it. So I'm going to make a copy of this section. So I'm going to say copy and paste. Stick that over there. Now this will be the backing for my stamp, and I need to design a handle that goes into that. So I'm going to say a good size for my handle is going to be about 80 millimeters. I'm going to draw a line up using my polyline tool, up 80 millimeters, like that. And I'm going to decide, I'm going to be about 20 millimeters wide. So I'm going to grab the polyline tool again, and from 10 millimeters out this way, draw a line up, and I'm temporarily going to disable ortho by holding down the shift key and draw a line up to there, and I'm going to mirror it to the other side using my mirror tool under the move tool. There. Select my line I want to mirror to that side. Okay, I'm happy with that. And I'm going to now blend these two together to form the rounded top of my handle. So under my fillet tool, I'll find the blend arc tool. Click on this line and that line, and it creates a nice arc blend for it. I'm happy with that. Next up, I need to make sure that I can have a three-dimensional handle for this section. First, I'm going to finish this bottom section. Now I know my wood is 3 millimeters thick, so I'm going to start from this end there using my end snap. From this end down, 1, 2, 3 millimeters, sideways over here, straight, and back up 3 millimeters. Now I grab all of those and I say join, and I make a copy of this. So I'm going to say, almost. I don't want to make a copy yet. I'm going to draw a line from that end there to this end, to that mid there. I want to be able to divide it exactly in half, so my two parts of my three-dimensional handle interlock. So I grab this, make a copy and paste, and I move it 1.5 millimeters. So I use my move tool and I type in 1.5, enter. Now I do 1.5 millimeters because that's half of 3 mil. So again, I grab that and I say mirror, straight down the middle, like that. I'm just going to maximize my top viewport so I can see more clearly. So now I have a slot running down the middle. That's exactly 3 millimeters. Next up, I'm going to draw a line from the midpoint out. I'm going to use that to divide my section in two halves, top and bottom. Now I can go ahead and make a copy. So I'm going to grab that and say copy and paste. Move it to there. Select all of this. Use my trim tool and start trimming away the sections I don't want. That one and that one, this one and this one, and I need to trim out the top section there as well. I'm going to keep trimming and do the opposite for here. So I cut there and there, there and there, and there. Now I don't need this line down the middle anymore, and I don't need this line anymore. I wanted those two pieces. I'm going to say join. Now you'll see that we've divided exactly in the middle. So this section can now rotate 45 degrees, or I apologize, 90 degrees, and then slot in there. That'll make my handle three-dimensional. Now next up, I want to grab this section here and add a slot for it in there. Now I know what the size is. I know it's 20. And I know my wood is 3 millimeters thick. So I go ahead and draw a rectangle. That is 20 by 3. So I type in 20, hit enter, type in 3, and I want to grab this and move it to the center of this object. So I'll turn my center snap on again, and I'll say move from that center to this center. Now I need 2 of them. So I'm going to say copy and paste and rotate from this center there to there. And then the last step is to trim these into each other. I grab that, I say trim, cut there, 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 and there. And that should technically complete my stamp design. Lastly, what I want to do is I want to make sure everything is joined, and I want to assign some colors to cut things out that I want to be cut. So I grab that middle section, go to display color and make that blue. Outside sections should be green. Display color green. And now technically I need 2 copies of this because I want to make one green and one needs to be black so I can engrave the outside of that. So I'm going to select that and say copy and paste, make it green. Now I know I do have 2 of these stacked now. One is black, one is green. But when I go to Illustrator, I'll use the black one and that one and fill this section with black. So that's why I technically need both of those. One to cut and one to engrave. So I'm happy with that, and that technically finishes my design. I'd like to check or just illustrate that it does work so you can see what the final product will look like. So I'm going to go ahead and say select all of these, just like we did with our previous dice design. We're going to extrude these to make them a valid closed poly surface. So I'm going to say under my solid tools, extrude closed planar curve, extrude by 1, 2, 3 millimeters. And my perspective view, I'm just going to turn on shading so you can see what it looks like. Oh, that one didn't work. Let's just delete that and delete that. I'm going to try that again. Oh, those didn't join. That's why. Let's say join. Unable to join curves. That's interesting. I'm going to grab that and say explode. Let's go through this again. If I select this and select this, will it join that? Unable to join curves. Ah, see, I screwed up. I need to trim those off first. So I'm going to say trim. Trim there. Oops. Select this line and that line and say trim. There and there. And now it should work just fine. Join. Yep, closed into one, or joined into one closed curve. Go ahead and extrude those again. 1, 2, 3. 3 millimeters thick. And now I can start assembling these. I'm going to grab that part, that extrusion, rotate. Rotate up around that midpoint. That goes there and slots in exactly there. So that'll illustrate what I mean by this section slides into there, like so. This section now needs to rotate upwards. So I'll say rotate around that midpoint there. And as you can see, that'll now slide over there and slot in there like that. And then lastly, what I need to do is our stamp will technically end up looking like this. So I'm going to grab the main circle. I'm going to say extrude. And create the illusion that we engraved this already. And we grab the star section, extrude it this way. And when we engrave them, they will technically look like this. One section will be burned away and our star will stand out. So now we can grab that and say rotate around that section there. And this goes over here. And when we're done and our stamp has been laser cut, we can just glue that section on there. And that completes our stamp. Thank you.